Julie and Todd Chrisley were recently freed from their prison sentence following a pardon from President Donald Trump. Since then, fans have been asking questions about the reality show stars following their time behind bars. In particular, some fans have shared that they are especially worried about the Chrisley family matriarch. Fans were introduced to the Chrisley family with the USA Network series, Chrisley Knows Best. Back in 2022, Todd and Julie were convicted on various charges, including bank fraud and tax evasion. For her part, Julie was sentenced to 7 years, reporting to the Federal Medical Center in Lexington. In 2024, Julie's sentence was upheld during an attempted appeal. For his part, Todd was sentenced to 12 years, reporting to the federal prison camp in Pensacola. However, Julie and Todd would eventually be released in 2025, following a presidential pardon from President Donald Trump. Since then, fans have been wondering how the couple are adjusting to their lives back on the outside. Taking to social media, one fan recently noted, "Julie seems different." They shared, "I wasn't in favor of their pardon, and was actually quite shocked they got one. But since they've been out, Julie seems different. I watched their show a few times over the years. I know their character and behavior on TAV and social media prior to prison for the most part. And Julie seems very disconnected now." Obviously, prison changes you, and adapting to normal life, I'm sure, is jolting at first. But there seems to be a sadness to her now. I wonder if her and Todd will stay together. Other fans shared similar sentiments on social media. In one lengthy comment, another fan shared, "I've noticed that too, and especially in her eyes. Other people have said she's lost her spark. She looks dead inside. She's probably traumatized and regretting the whole ordeal," which seems the opposite of Todd. She could also still be adjusting to civilian life, as I'm sure it is a shock as well. This isn't the first time fans noticed a change in Julie following her release. As previously reported, a few fans were concerned after seeing her with her natural hair. At the time, many were wondering if she would go back to her famous platinum blonde locks as seen on the family's USA Network show. With the recent post, fans continued to share other theories. A few fans were also concerned for Julie's mental health. That said, a few other fans felt things were being taken out of context. A few even thought it was healthy that she didn't immediately return to her previous persona after time in prison. Some comments included, "Have you been following this story? What do you think of these recent fan comments? Have you noticed a difference with Julie Chrisley? Make sure you come back to TV Shows Ace for all the latest reality TV and celebrity news." The early summer sun beamed down as Julie Chrisley stepped out of the gates at the Federal Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky. Though the air was warm, a visible chill seemed to cling to her. Her shoulders, once confidently square, now curled slightly inward. Behind her, the prison loomed like a shadow that wouldn't quite let go. For fans of the once glamorous reality TV matriarch, this was the moment they'd long awaited. But as Julie re-entered public life after 17 months behind bars, concern began to outweigh celebration. On social media, whispers of worry turned into threads of speculation. Some fans noted a quietness to her return that felt unfamiliar. Others zeroed in on her appearance, less polished, more subdued. Most strikingly, they saw a woman who seemed changed in ways that couldn't be explained away by time or stress. Was back. But not entirely. A changed woman. The first images released by family members were heartwarming at first glance. Julie seated in the living room of her Nashville home, surrounded by her children. Yet eagle-eyed followers couldn't help but notice her stillness. Her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. She sat with her hands in her lap, fingers laced tightly. A once lively woman who used to laugh easily on television now carried a quiet weight. In private fan groups and open comment sections alike, concern began to rise. "She just doesn't look like herself," one longtime fan wrote. "Something's different. Prison changes people, I know that. But this seems deeper," another echoed. For a public used to seeing Julie as composed, witty, and fiercely maternal, Her current emotional distance felt jarring. The toll of Tyne Julie Chrisley's time in prison had not been marked by scandals or incidents. By all accounts, she kept to herself, followed the rules, and stayed busy. But those close to her have hinted at the psychological toll it took. The stripped-down life, the absence of family, and the mental rigor required to survive day after day left their mark. Her daughter, Savannah, had shouldered the burden of keeping the family business afloat during Julie's incarceration. Behind closed doors, she prepared herself to support her mother not just physically, but emotionally. It was clear from the start that re-entry wouldn't be seamless. Fans began dissecting the few public moments Julie allowed herself: press photos, brief appearances, statements relayed through family. Her voice, once clear and confident, now seemed tentative. Her fashion, once stylish and camera-ready, had shifted to simple and loose-fitting clothes. In the absence of her usual sparkle, many saw signs of a woman grappling with invisible battles. Julie had never been one to court drama, even during the height of the family's reality show popularity. While Todd basked in controversy and zingers, Julie often served as the moral center of the show, grounded, nurturing, with an unshakable sense of duty to her family. But now the spotlight seemed less like a stage and more like a microscope. Critics and fans alike speculated whether Julie was suffering from post-traumatic stress. Her movements in public were more cautious. Her gaze sometimes drifted when reporters asked questions. She appeared distracted during a brief family-hosted video, where she nodded silently through most of the recording. Observers began connecting the dots. Long-term incarceration, especially for someone unaccustomed to such an environment, can erode one's identity. The sensory deprivation, the isolation, the strict regimens, the loss of agency, all of it can leave permanent emotional scars. And for someone like Julie, who had built a life based on homemaking, connection, and family, the absence of warmth for nearly 2 years may have proven especially damaging. A battle behind closed doors. She has yet to speak at length about her experience. Those close to her suggest Julie is taking her time. She's not rushing to return to television. She hasn't accepted any solo interviews. Her days are reportedly spent in therapy sessions, spiritual reflection, and quiet activities with her children. Her home, once a bustling hub of show-related filming and fanfare, has reportedly become a sanctuary. Visitors are few. The television remains off most days. According to a family friend, Julie spends long stretches in the garden, tending to plants she never used to bother with before. The silence around her is not accidental. It's protective. Still, the world outside continues to speculate. Concern for her mental health has taken on a life of its own online. TikToks break down her facial expressions in still frames. Instagram captions are analyzed for hidden meaning. In some ways, the concern itself has become a new type of performance. Fans mean well, but their analysis, however heartfelt, sometimes overlooks the deeper truth. Healing doesn't always look good on camera. Rebuilding a life after prison is not as simple as coming home. Everything changes: the rhythm of the day, the sense of purpose, the comfort in once familiar relationships. Julie is reportedly relearning how to be in the world again. Small things like shopping for groceries or walking into a room full of people can feel overwhelming. The Julie who used to breeze through boutiques and brunches now finds solace in quiet rituals, making tea in the early morning, reading in the corner chair of her living room, listening to hymns on vinyl. Todd Chrisley's presence looms large even in his physical absence. Though he remains incarcerated, his influence lingers, and the couple's emotional connection has remained a focal point. Yet for Julie, forging a separate identity, a woman outside the role of wife, mother, and media personality, has become paramount. This time, there is no showrunner, no editor, no glam squad to fix her lighting, just the long road back to herself. Among fans, the debate rages on. Should she be left alone to heal? Or should she speak out to clear the air? Is it concern or voyeurism driving the conversation? Support pages have sprung up across social media with messages of hope, encouragement, and solidarity. Former inmates and mental health advocates have written open letters, reminding followers that trauma recovery is not linear, and that visible strength does not always mean invisible healing. She needs time. That's it. Just time. One fan posted beneath a photo of Julie walking with Savannah in Nashville, her head down, sunglasses on. Another commenter added, "We loved her for her honesty. Let's give her space to rebuild it."